Welcome to koam-presents, a podcast produced by KOAM News Now and the 4 states' most watched news team.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized and were recently named a 2018 CareCheck's #1 hospital in market and top 10% hospital in state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
Welcome back. Again, another episode 5, halfway through this little 10-episode series. My name's Lance Binning, of course, Doug Heddy again with us, as always. Thanks to our sponsors, Freeman Health System, Derailed Commodity, and Grand Lake Casino. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. You?
Not too bad. I know you were a little scratchy earlier this week.
Yeah, I really haven't been sick much at all since pre-COVID, probably because people were washing their hands more and wearing masks.
Yeah.
But, I got a little bit under the weather. I've been fighting a lot of migraines still, too.
There was a bug going around, and it's funny because, outside of COVID, everyone was like, I went this whole, how much time, 2 years, and then I get a stomach bug, or I get strep throat.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people having the stomach bug. I have not gotten that.
Knock on wood. Yeah.
Jinx. I hate this stomach bug.
Oh, I know. Getting nauseous is the worst. So today we're going to talk about a little severe weather preparedness and some myths. I mean, my parents were when I grew up, Farmer's Almanac and the hearsay thing. And there's nothing wrong with Farmer's Almanac. I don't know how you feel about it. But there's a lot of myths associated with weather and what to do in weather and severe weather, especially since we're kind of coming up on that season. Do you get a lot of myths? Do people ask you about a lot of things that you're like, that is definitely disproven?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and things have changed too over the years. I know when I was a kid, we still had to crack the windows on the school bus.
What is that? I don't even know.
If you're in a tornado watch, because they thought that pressure would build up, which that is completely false. I remember sitting there as a kid wondering why we were doing that.
That's so funny.
Yeah. They used to say, if you go into your basement, go to the northeast side of the house.
I've also never heard that one. Oh my gosh.
Because most tornadoes usually come from the west or the southwest, so it wouldn't be the direct side of the house. However, over the years, we figured out that the house falls on you.
It doesn't make much difference.
Right, so you want to be on the southwest side.
Oh,
so
okay.
It has, switched over the years, but tons of myths. Can't go over rivers or can't go around lakes.
Yeah, I've heard it can't go past, but it can't. I mean, isn't it called something else when it goes over water?
Well, yeah, a water spout, but that's over the ocean.
Oh, okay.
And those usually aren't tornadic supercells. Those are more just kind of strong thunderstorms that put a little spin because, we get, I'm sure you've seen dust devils.
Yeah,
gustnados.
Yeah.
Or even where the leaves just kind of blow around. those are all circulations going on. But, so rivers, lakes, or can't go in a valley. Pitcher used to say that they could never get hit because of the chat piles.
Oh,
they thought
let's break it up or something?
Yeah, and then obviously we know what happened in Pitcher in 2008. So, tons of myths.
And we were talking to one I always heard was the underpass thing. And you mentioned Anderson. Andover, Nick said 99. I don't really know a whole lot about that.
Andover was in 91, maybe 90. Andover's just northeast of Wichita. So, but they used to always say, if you're in a car or something, either get in a ditch or go under an underpass, but you don't want to go under an underpass because it's if you're downtown on a windy day standing between two buildings, the wind picks up.
Yeah, you
it's
can
because
feel
it's
it.
compressed.
Yeah.
So that's the same thing that happens under an underpass is if you have 200 mile per hour winds, you may have 260 or 270. So you don't want to go under an underpass.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so increases the wind speed, which is kind of crazy to think about.
And then another one, it's kind of like the lightning never hitting twice, but like tornadoes hitting in the same spot, like twice, like another one springing up,
Yeah.
like right behind it or something like that.
Well, no, that can definitely happen, but
Really?
I mean, lightning can hit the same place twice.
Yeah.
I don't want to prove that point
No.
because I've already been hit once, but definitely you can get hit twice. And then tornadoes, I mean, you got to realize the chances of one given spot, like here at the station, the chances of our station ever taking a direct hit is extremely slim. But the chances that a tornado could hit 20th and Maiden Lane in Joplin, where St. John's is just as high as it hitting 7th and Rangeland. So they aren't protected by any means.
So those structures and stuff, as far as like the system, makes no, like, say for maybe like a big, even bigger city, like with skyscrapers and stuff, that doesn't break up the pressure or anything like that.
Yeah, you got to think a tornado is generated from the clouds. So the clouds, they do not care what's on the ground.
Yeah.
So now bigger topography. I mean, when you're getting into mountains, and even the Ozark Mountains, southern Missouri, northern Arkansas, will affect the airflow just a little bit. So I think that's probably why southern Missouri, northern Arkansas doesn't get quite as many. Northwest Arkansas doesn't ever seem to have any tornadoes. It doesn't mean that they can't. They've had little ones, but never a big one. But when you get into big topography, so mountains and all that greatly affects storm systems.
Okay.
But little scale stuff, no.
Really? Speaking of like topography, I just read, I guess it would have been today, I don't know the time shift, but there was an earthquake in Japan.
Yeah, I saw that.
So with things that happen under the ground, like earthquakes, and maybe it causes a tsunami or something, does that actually affect the weather in like the short term if like a tsunami were to happen, aside from the flooding or whatever, but as far as like actual systems? Really?
I mean, no more than like on the micro, like if you get a big tsunami, I mean, you're going to get a gust of wind. So I mean, no more besides that, no. So it's not going to derail a big storm system or anything.
Yeah. All the myths proven wrong. All these things I hear about and you just don't ever know.
Well, I always hear about, especially the older folk. They like to talk about the caterpillars and, what's the seed you split that has like a fork or spoon.
What is that? It's like a beet.
Persimmons.
Persimmon, there you go.
Yeah.
Nick with all the answers
Yeah.
there.
I've never found any truth with that.
Yeah.
I mean, because like on the persimmon seed, you can have two and split both of them, and they'll say something different.
Yeah.
And then you got to think about the caterpillar, the woolly caterpillar.
Yeah.
They always say, how long the brown streak or black streak compared to the orange streak.
Yeah.
But you got to remember their fur grows on what happened the year prior.
That makes
not
sense.
what is coming up. So, most of those things are not truthful.
I mean, if it makes you feel better, I guess you can chop open your persimmons or your dancing beans or whatever,
Right.
but it might not actually make a difference. Well, we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
And we'll catch you right after this. At Grand Lake Casino, you get more points, more free play, and better rewards. Play at the casino where friends play. Grand Lake Casino, Highway 10 north of Grove, Oklahoma. Check them out online at grandlakecasino.com.
Make your home more comfortable with help from Derailed Commodity. Update your flooring with the area's largest selection of in-stock carpet, luxury vinyl plank, tile, area rugs, and more in many styles, brands, and colors. New furniture always brightens a home. We have a great in-store selection including sofa sets, recliners, and mattresses. Economy to premium in stock and ready to brighten your home. Shop now at your local Derailed Commodity Flooring and Furniture with stores in Brazelton and Independence, Kansas, and Joplin and Butler, Missouri.
Welcome back again. I feel like I say it every time.
Discount double check.
Discount double. I forgot about that commercial. Oh, that's a good one. So we talked about the myths. Now we're going to talk about the more founded in truth, severe weather preparedness.
Right. Where do you want to go?
Where do you want to go? So
Well,
I personally, I don't have a basement or a storm shelter, but I have a bathroom.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
I don't either.
Really?
But, yeah, I've never, my wife, she's always like, where do I go? And I'm like, I've never really thought about it because I'm always at work. I mean,
That's very
anytime we
true,
have
yeah.
tornadic activity, I'm always here. But, the good thing, at least over the past decade, is like a lot of schools have gotten big shelters.
Yeah, I have seen that.
So we live right by an elementary school. Like I can walk there. They have an EFI or EF5 storm shelter there. So I mean that's always good. But I
Yeah.
mean by far the safest place is a storm shelter. A lot of people put them outside. Sometimes in a garage, they have the ones that bolt in. So all those are hands down the safest.
Yeah.
After that, secondary is going to be a basement, which is ironic that hardly anybody has basements here.
Yeah, the ground is.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up in Kansas City, and everybody had a basement.
Yeah, same, yeah.
And I moved here, and nobody really does. And, you got to think about, like, Table Rock Lake. It's named Table Rock for a reason. It's rocky.
Oh, yeah, you're
So,
cutting right into it. Yeah.
So our ground is so rocky, it's so expensive to put a basement in, so most people don't have them. But yeah, that's the second best. But yeah, if I was at my house and a tornado was coming, I have a 2-bedroom house, so I would pick the interior bathroom that doesn't have any windows, and I get in the bathtub and I get pillows, couch cushions, mattress, and put it on top of me.
So do you suggest I don't know, it's kind of, there's going to be a lot happening, obviously, if a severe weather event, like kind of having like a go bag, kind of like a prepare.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, in the heat of everything, you have to hang on to it still.
Yeah, I mean, they preparedness, they always say, water and batteries and this and that. But, the biggest thing I heard from people coming out of the Joplin tornado is shoes. If you
didn't even think about that.
If you go take cover, make sure you have shoes on because you're not thinking down the road, oh, I am going to get hit. What if I don't have shoes on?
Yeah, because you're like in your pajamas or whatever it is. Yeah.
Shoes are a huge thing. And then cell phone. There's so many things that you could say before a big severe weather event. Hey, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. I always tell people the biggest thing is just pay attention. Know when we're going to have severe weather.
Yeah.
And if we go into a tornado watch or something, make sure your cell phone's charged. Just little things because you got to think, worst case scenario, what are the things I'm going to need?
Yeah.
You're going to need a cell phone, you're going to need shoes. So,
yeah.
Those are the biggest things that I think of.
And usually the weather, it's not super cold, so you don't have to worry about, coats and a lot of layers and things like that. That makes a lot of sense. This was really early whenever I used to be in the behind the scenes in master control, what they call it, and we had a severe weather event, and you were estimating that it could come towards the station. And I remember, I think everyone except for you, me, and then our director Lucas at the time was like down in the. We have a storm. We're in the Pittsburgh studio. We have a storm shelter at the end, and you're like, when I tell you, you just leave everything on and just book it. And I was like 20 years old, still in college. I'm like, oh my God.
The sad thing is, and
what's going on?
I hope Brooke, our GM's, not listening. I had no intentions of ever going to storm shelter, and that is, I never will. So, if the station's going down, I'm going down with it.
I mean, that's what you told us. I mean, you pretty much, like I said, me and Lucas, we were up there, and you just listen to what I say.
I'm not going to storm shelter ever.
Yeah. So. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, but you guys, I got to make sure I put you guys in storm shelter.
I mean, you're looking out, like I said, and obviously we were safe and everything like that, and everyone else was being safe, and we have our little setup, little command shelter back there. But
foot fell asleep.
Your foot fell. Yeah. your cool shoes. Yeah. You're keeping your feet too cool. We actually have some questions. I know we didn't really get to cover them. We had them, I think, a couple episodes ago, and we didn't have time to cover them. One viewer, or listener rather, asked a grapple. Grapple? Okay. How does that form, especially compared to sleet, freezing rain, hail, and other interesting types, so I'm assuming different types of precipitation?
most people probably don't even know what grapple is.
I didn't, yeah.
We don't get it often. It's similar to sleet, but it looks like snow. So it's like white little puffy pellets, and if you actually pick them up, you can like squeeze them.
Oh.
They'll fall apart. We don't get grapple that often. Grapple is a frozen raindrop around snow, so that's why it's kind
So
of
it's like 2 layers.
right. Sleet is literally a frozen raindrop. So we've had a lot of sleet. Those are the little ice pellets. And then freezing rain obviously is rain that freezes on contact when it hits the ground.
Yeah.
Hail you can get hail with sleet. Like Northwest Arkansas a couple weeks ago, they had hail mixed in with sleet, but hail is bigger. But it all depends on what's going on upstairs in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So, at the layer from here at the surface and about 3,000 feet is critical. So freezing rain, it's below freezing here on the ground, but it's not right above the surface. So it falls all the way through the atmosphere as rain. And then sleet would be the next level, where you get rain that freezes right before it hits the surface, and that's why you get the ice pellet. Grapple would be the third stage, where it actually turns to snow, and then it freezes around it. So it all depends on what's going on in the upper levels of the atmosphere. Hail's totally different, because hail's where you get a thunderstorm.
Yeah.
So in the cloud, there's the freezing line. So a raindrop, because thunderstorms have updrafts and downdrafts. So the air's moving up and down, up and down, up and down. So the raindrop, it goes down, and then it gets lifted up in the cloud, and it freezes. And it goes down and gets lifted up, and every time it passes that freezing point, it freezes a little bit more. And it gets a little bit bigger, and then when the cloud can't hold it anymore, it drops it to the ground. So the stronger storms, that's why the hail's bigger, because it's stronger and it can keep it in the cloud longer. But small hail, it can't keep it up there as long because it's not quite as strong. So we usually only get hail with thunderstorms, but as we know this winter, you can get thunderstorms with winter weather. So you can get some hail, but freezing rain, sleet, grapple, those are all winter weather events.
We never really get the, what's the grapple prediction for today? It's not really accumulating.
You really rarely get grapple.
Yeah, so that's cool. Well, thank you. I should have wrote the name of the viewer who wrote it down. If you're listening, thank you for the question. Next question, are solar flares affecting the Earth's climate? I know that's kind of a way out. I mean, it's out of our atmosphere, obviously.
Yeah, it's on the very outer limits of the atmosphere, but no, not really.
Not really?
I mean, at least that we know of.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe and I'm speculating, maybe if you have flare-ups of solar flares, a whole bunch, maybe it affects the climate a little bit, but we're not here long enough on Earth to probably really be able to know.
Yeah, because the magnetic field doesn't affect
But from
pressure.
my knowledge, it's not affecting the climate.
Okay, well, Doug has spoken. And then I guess I had a last thought. I remember I saw today, there's a chance that daylight savings, I don't know if you've seen this.
Yeah, I did.
That might be going away. I want the heady take on daylight savings.
I'm for it. It does stink in the wintertime because the sun won't come up till, after 8.
I know, that's what I was thinking about.
So that does stink. But you got to think, in the wintertime, it's in December, it's dark at 5.
Oh, yeah.
So it'll be 6, which does help a little bit. And then you still get the long, summer nights. So I'm for it. But we'll see. I know it passed the Senate. It's got to go through the House.
Yeah, so as of recording this, it hasn't completely gone through, but it seemed pretty unanimous. I mean,
they've been talking about it since I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to get rid of it. So, yeah, I would be perfectly fine with that.
Yeah. Interesting to know. Well, that's
you might as well mention, because we did tease the last episode that we were going to talk about the Joplin tornado.
Yes.
We're going to push that back episode or two.
Changing it up a little bit. We won't spoil who our special guest is, but we are going to have another guest joining Behind the Weather to, again, commemorate the Joplin tornado and So we wanted to do a little extra stuff. So we're like, okay, we'll push it back, and then we'll do it right and make a big thing out of it. So
Sounds good.
thanks again for listening, sharing. Check us out on Facebook, Doug's Facebook page. I mean, if you're listening on your phone, iPhone, Android, whatever, just hit the little share button. Share it to Facebook, Twitter, wherever the young people are at nowadays. Thanks,
youths.
The youths. Thanks again to our sponsors, Freeman Health System, Grand Lake Casino, and Derailed Commodity. And we'll catch you in another episode.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized and were recently named a 2018 CareCheck's #1 hospital in market and top 10% hospital in state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
Thank you for listening to KOAM-presents. For the latest content and local news, weather, and sports, please go to koamnewsnow.com.